Mid-Season Brawl, of course, Yi first, second, KR third, fourth. But for BlizzCon, who knows?
So,
and
I mean,
the chat will respond to you.
So, yeah, I mean, I think we have to say only time will tell. There were a lot of retirings and things like that, but the top tier teams are not going to be the top forever. Otherwise, this wouldn't be an esport, right? So, change is good. Change is good.
That's right.
As sad as it makes me about the about Korea, change is good, man. So, Towers of Doom will be our second map. This will obviously be the map pick of BlossoM. And we're going to head to this one. So, Leeming going to be very popular here. Anubrak as well, very likely to even potentially be banned.
Yeah, this is a map where we saw, instead of Uther and Ubrak ban, we saw lots of Dehaka ban coming out from the very first ban because of the power of that global. And going along with the Dehaka ban, we saw some false set coming out from lots of the teams from Mid-Season Brawl. Let's see if they have also adapted to it. No Chet, of course, known for his false set play.
Okay, it's time. Raven will have first ban. And they will take away the Uther. Let's see if BlossoM responds with the Anubrak ban, or if they will just let, if they will ban the Genji away and let the Anubrak through.
There are lots of options here, as Raven is not really a team that focuses into macro, the global, the Dehaka first pick. Maybe with the new roster, maybe they are going towards adapting into the new meta of having global more balanced, also having Anubrak all the CC. But from what we saw from game number 1, this is a map. Okay, they're just gonna open everything up and give one choice to Raven, and BlossoM's gonna take the rest.
Task coming in as the ban here, so that this is kind of what we like to call the throwaway ban. I've kind of coined this term as a reference to a ban on a strong hero, but not the S-tier hero, a hero that pairs with the hero that you're afraid of, and then allows you to pick the other S-tier hero that's available. So this will give them the Anubrak. On Towers of Doom, you definitely can take Anubrak into the Dehaka. You give up the Li Ming and or the Malfurion here, because when Uther is banned like this, you can kind of feel that support choke. But I think they're going to pick the Anubrak here. They might be forced to give the Dehaka away, but giving Genji and Anubrak, even though they did it in the first game, you could see that the shining signs of life for Raven were based on the amazing Dragon Blades and Deong's Anubrak coming with the multi-stuns. They will take Anubrak and Malfurion and also have the best skin plus 10th for Anubrak. Oh no, they changed it, no!
They also had, there's also Neon Anubrak now, so that's a new skin. Go get him, go open those loot boxes, or use all the shards that's available to buy the skins.
No, don't do that. Only use the Cyber Anubrak. It's the best one. Jacob, don't tell them bad things.
And also, okay, here's the thing. The difference between the top tier team and the bottom tier team back in MSB was because they could use Avatar. And oftentimes, Avatar came in along as a very, very high win rate pick, along with Genji, along with Chen. It gave a lot of the global pressure with extra soak and EXP. You didn't need the Haka, you didn't need Falstad. You also you can have the safe Avatar to give more power to Illidan, to Genji, all those very strong frontliners to carry the team. Let's see if Raven goes all the way and pick Avatar here.
Would be pretty crazy. They definitely absolutely could. Wait until the last second. It's going to be Stitches here with the Dehaka. So bringing some hookers in here. The tongue and grab combos. You can hook someone into a secondary tongue grab. So you can double that up. And they'll have the Malfurion to pair with it. They don't have the Arthas yet to pair with that if they wanted to run the triple tank, which would be more RRR style. I don't think they will run it, but interesting to see the Stitches pick with not that much pairing. I like the choice of Dehaka for globals and for the bell tower pressure. Kind of a funny one.
Yep, and they can go again with the support choke. I don't think Raven is considering too much onto the support choke. They can go with Karazim or Rehgar, whichever they let that open. And they already banned Tassadar, so lots of shield removed. I'm surprised to see. It's kind of funny we're now living in a world without Vala at all. Vala just opened to screw the map. Of course, we saw lots of Vala in MSP, but these teams are not really picking Vala at all.
Yeah, that's more L5 style, at least for now. We'll see the Rhaegar ban here. So they're going to start taking the Uther ban, putting it against Raven, saying, okay, if you're going to prioritize the Genji here, I'm going to take Malfurion. You didn't take Rhaegar in the second phase, or the second rotation, so we're going to take that away from you now. Kharazim's still strong in this situation, especially when you have the hooks coming out from Stitches and Dahaka, so you can pull one of those targets into 7-sided. So I think it's a solid, option, the Kharazim, but Rhaegar is a safe ban. See, Tychus is going to be highlighted here again against the double tank, the front line here. He's very strong. Look towards the Greymane instead, though. Greymane doesn't fit Raven's draft. Both of these heroes serving similar roles in terms of DPS for tanks, the percentage-based damage coming out. So the problem with this is that if you ban the Greymane, then BlossoM just takes the Tychus. And if you ban the Tychus, then BlossoM just takes the Greymane. So
that's right. And also Uther and Greymane look so similar. Sometimes I get them confused, along with Malthael and Tyrael sometimes, or Ariel, those archangels coming in. For BlossoM's side now, they need to show their DPS. Of course, they can hide their 5th pick for later, but they need to reveal at least one. Greymane is already banned. They were showing Tychus. Maybe Tychus is a good answer, but against the Genji, who can just reflect so many of his auto attacks, I think it's going to be a little bit tough. And we saw some of MVP Black and L5 also running Tracer, but along with Tassadar with some shielding like Zarya.
Well, a long time to think about it is going to be the Li Ming and the Illidan coming in. So some global force here against the Dahaka to match for his split pushing. So that's going to be a fun solo lane to witness. And obviously the evasion coming out for Illidan will be decent against the DPSs that are left remaining here for Raven. Falstad is one of those heroes that we saw so much on this map in the past. It was dominating the drafts, either banned or first pick for a really long time. But now that he's not really as highly prioritized, not really in the meta, I wonder if we'll even see him come out here. He's one of the last remaining DPSs with the Greymane ban, the Li Ming stolen away. It's definitely starting to feel like that's a strong possibility. Vala, like you said, another DPS available but not usable with this composition. Unless they want to lock in Vala Ariel, which would be a little bit weird on this map. It's going to be Lucio as support, long time no see. With whom, though? Kael'thas! Kael'thas is coming back!
Okay, along with Stitches, they want to have at least some CC available with Malfurion already onto the other side. Uther removed from the very first ban. KT seems to be doing okay with the para with the hooks coming out from Stitches. So let's see if they can make it happen once more.
All right, well, last pick here for BlossoM. Probably going to be a sub-tank of some sort. Maybe the Arthas could make an appearance here now. Or ETC again. Wouldn't be too crazy. There's a lot of interrupts this time, especially with Kael'thas, who can almost have a guaranteed interrupt as long as he Verdant Spheres as his gravity lapse can come in there and knock the ETC out of his dance party. Or this is the more common pick in this situation. I feel like Leoric is actually pretty reasonable here too. Like, I don't think he's going to be the hero that we see, especially not in Korea, but I mean, they're definitely considering here. This is one of our longer drafts, as this is not standard. It didn't go really as planned for either team, so I'm having to resort to a bit of plan Bs here. It's going to be the Tyrael. So Tyrael and Uberok very strong with the Illidan as well. Actually kind of surprised that that kind of slipped my mind there. Because actually, when you think about it, Tyrael is so amazingly strong in this situation. So much protection for the dive that we're going to see from the Uberok and the Illidan. Well, it's go time. We'll see if Gondar ends up on that Anubarak. If so, I'm really excited to see how much he can do with it as we move into game number 2. Can Raven tie us up? Or is it going to be match point for BlossoM? Let's jump into Towers of Doom to find out. In blue, Team Raven. Darvish on Dahaka, Hamlin on Genji, NMX on Kel'Thas, Diung on Stitches, and Chom on Lucio.
And in red, BlossoM, who is on Malfurion, Gondar on Nubarak, Mora on Illidan, Dudu on Liming, and No Chat on Tyrael.
Okay, the music goes like something like need to fix the record on the record player there for a moment. Put the needle back on.
There's this trust with the Gravity Labs. I was thinking Mora, the Modern Life, previously to be on Tyrael because that's one of his most popular hero as he played it multiple times last season, but it's actually he's actually on Illidan and No Chat. That's a bit surprising.
Well, against this composition with a Illidan and a Nubarak, it's quite brave to go for convection stacks at level 1, as the Korean commentators and Observer are highlighting. See if he can get those 20 stacks, because it's going to be very difficult.
There's one, and also Living barely survives with the CC coming in. The save his teammate. That's 2. Maybe NMX is thinking playing safe and getting those stacks slowly, as this map can go for a long, long time.
Yeah, I mean, it usually comes to a head around level 20 one way or another, unless there's a massive comeback, but then it goes really late. But if he can get it early, obviously you get more value out of it. So completing the quest quickly is obviously important for all quests, and Convection is no exception. The problem is being greedy in order to get it against a team that can dive you and punish you is very risky.
Yep, you will lose all of your stats, but once you complete it, of course, you'll do a lot more damage. But that's the risk he's going to take. Let's see if he completes it before losing his stacks. And Illidan, of course, this is a matchup that's pretty tough for Darvish on top against the Illidan.
So first phase is going to be all about delay tactics here. For BlossoM, they have Li Ming, they have the Beatles coming in for Nubarak, as Mora will channel and get this first one. It'll be the first 4 shots fired. They'll trade neutral on the top, but the altars to the south is going to be the next contention point as we see a dive in here onto Dudu. He's very low. Does get the teleport over the wall, but Mora is already with the channel here.
Oh, there's a hook, but no follow-up because they had to use all the skills to try to grab onto Li Ming. I don't think it was Li Ming's jukes that were impressive. It was more of Raven missing those skill shots that really let Li Ming survive there.
Darvish is actually going to commit to coming in. I thought he was really just going to stay up there, continue to soak. Unfortunately, he didn't get anything out of this yet. Nearly gets whizzed there with the tongue grab. They were almost able to turn that into a kill. Unfortunately, because that didn't happen, now Darvish is stuck here. Burrows for a moment, but will be taken out. He just increased his death timer there. And that is going to be the channel for BlossoM. They will get the double altar here of the 3 spawn. The global here, I thought we were going to see that extra soak, see the pressure on the bell tower, considering it was going to be very difficult to turn this into a capture for Raven. Understandably, they did have Lucio. They have that extra sustained healing. And perhaps they thought if the fight went longer, they would win out as a result. As Lucio's very similar to Malfurion, sustained slower healing, but over a larger area. Just did not end up working out for them in the end. You could see the decision-making there, but in execution, it did not work.
But at least Kel'Thas survived. As long as he has his stats, that's
true.
Okay. It's at least a little better for Raven. And also, with Kel'Thas and Dahaka, now they have a little bit better of a wave clear, and now they should be pushing. They should be pushing and getting extra soak EXP before Illidan hits 10 and get that hunt for the semi-global available for himself later on. But they're already behind from the fight. They lost 4 extra shots also, so bad news for Raven right now.
Illidan actually was soloing the camp, but identified quickly that Dahaka had come up to the top lane, decided not to stick around there, went back to make sure he could get the soak. But if he can actually wipe this lane out, if Dahaka brush knocks, hold that thought. Diung is getting chain stunned here. And there's the root. He does survive through all of it, even without dampen magic. Now we're going to see the brush knock come, and this is an opportunity for Illidan to split push top. But more importantly, can Dudu get out? Teleport to avoid the hook. Good boop here out of the Lucio, and that will definitely be the kill. Down goes Dudu, and Illidan a bit slow to rotate towards that camp. He's just getting there now, so he was left here alone up in the top lane, but didn't actually get this as quickly as I expected him to.
Yeah, but he will still get the camp, try to rotate, try to do a little bit more damage onto the top bell tower. If the front walls are open, Genji is coming to clear to soak up the cam, try to stop the cam from going all the way into the walls. They're gonna catch up some EXP and grabbing that Li Ming, although a lot of their skill shots did not connect. Seems like the teamwork is still not too perfect. Stitches should be with Kalthus if they're looking for the kill. If they're rotating without Stitches, they can't really look for the kill.
Yeah. Okay, looks like BlossoM here trying to channel. Gondor buying some time, but he won't be able to continue to do so as the rotation comes in. So BlossoM will just maintain their 4 HP lead on the core as we get the even trade now. Camp coming in for BlossoM here. Raven looks to be perhaps considering an invade. So they don't go directly to their camp, but they not only do they not invade, they're just going to slower rotate down bot. This is actually now an opportunity because of the composition here for BlossoM to go for their own invade. They don't have Sanctification just yet, but they have a Nubrok, which is almost just as good pre-10.
So I think Raven has to be super careful here. I think they were looking for a pickup in the middle lane as they were missing from the map. They didn't know they were camping at that moment. Genji does complete his quest, but Swift Strike already used and gets rooted on right.
Okay, No Chat does get away here. They will get the cap. Hamlin, though, had to dive deep for it. He will be taken out, so it wasn't a painless exchange here on the side of Raven to make sure they could secure that cap. We're going to keep the EXP fairly even right now as this camp will just be cleared up here. I think, if I'm not mistaken, NMX got a triple convection stack there with one of his Qs, so Flame Strike hits home. He's probably getting about halfway there. So we'll just have to keep an eye on that one. Fortunately, we don't have a PC to check for you guys, but it will be shown eventually. 10 is here first for BlossoM. It is obviously going to be Hunt coming out. Disintegrate and Sanctification. Judgment considered, I suppose, against Kalthus. You have the Hunt plus Judgment can be a way to lock him down, and there's no Cleanse with Lucio being the support of choice for Raven. So it could be a Judgment composition. This would definitely weaken weaken Nubrok and Illidan in team fights.
And also Isolation coming out from Dehaka. Really looking to stop Illidan from coming all the way in and doing all the damage. There comes Darvish, gets the very quick cleanse onto Gondor, limiting all the damage. There's a kill onto Kalthus already, all the stacks gone.
Okay, Sound Barrier's already used. The Dragon Blade not really pairing well with it. Big silence here coming out. And already that's going to be the kill onto Dehaka as well. No more convection stack. Sanctification locked in to help secure this fight as soon as they started to take control. And this could be disastrous for Raven now. No more convection stacks. They're going to lose both altars here. Their core health starting to get towards that dangerous halfway mark as Mora goes for the channel.
Not just the stacks, I think not picking Adaptation will cost them big. Of course, Stitches can tank at the front line a pretty long time, but without that
Here's
Adaptation, oh my goodness. No, they're saying no more stacks.
I mean,
have to regret for picking
that's a dead kill. This is going to be a dead bell tower. Although if it ever lived, it's an inanimate object, but it's going to be destroyed here as this is taking a small advantage for BlossoM into a major one, collapsing there with the Hunt. Darvish is split pushing top, but what he accomplishes at top is insignificant compared to what we saw relative to the bot push there where they secured a bell tower. Because they have the split pushing power of Illidan, with one bell tower down, they can almost always maintain that advantage, always that bell tower ahead. As you can see, he just hunts up here to the top to protect this wall, grabs the EXP. He's thankful these towers are out of ammunition. That allowed him to make sure he didn't lose any EXP from getting that bell tower. And things are going from, you know, pretty, like, I don't want to say bad to worse, but like from decent to bad on the side of Raven right now with this exchange.
It's not too bad yet, but Kalthus gets caught once more, and NMX goes very low. That's a kill.
Another kill. Rip stacks, indeed. BlossoM dies as well to disintegrate over the kill zone. Oh, look at this turnaround. That's what I'm talking about. Good deflections here from Hamlin. Nearly gets killed by the disintegrate. Gondar with the reads, though. I got to give this guy some credit. We knew it was going to be
1, 2, 3.
We knew he was going to be a good player based on what we had heard, the stories of the Hero League. And he is definitely making the stories true, man. He is living up to expectations with the ETC and the Nubrok play we've seen from him tonight. Looks real solid.
Yep, seems very on top of the plays right now, of course, going against Raven. And in the front line, even No Chat seems pretty hyped and pretty lighter, giving up Liming to Dutu this time and taking Tyrael. He's really stepping up this play today. No, and Raven right now saying 3 shots were enough, no more 3 shots.
You see a tongue grab here for Darvish. Fortunately, not able to find it. The follow-up pick. Wiz is going to be channeling the altar already, so they will grab 4, not 5. The bell tower just barely secured in time by Raven there at the bottom. But here's another dive onto Darvish. Doesn't have adaptation, as you said. Only the burrow here to try to survive. Hunt's going to secure the kill. Sanctification, and oh man! It's a massacre. Mora survives for a while here through the Dragon Blade damage that's coming out. A huge amount of transferred Flame Strike stacks there. Hamlin's actually going to pick off this kill. Will he get away? He does.
Barely.
Dudu is very low. This fight started perfectly for BlossoM, but one W coming up from Kale's Thoughts that spread to everybody, turned it around. We might have another turnaround here, though. NMX gets caught. Goodbye, Convection Sex again, but it's going to cost them all their members. There should be a bell tower from this as well with the full 5-man wipe. That was full in A. What we saw there.
Rip stacks. Stack 1. But still, Hamlin really turned that around really well with the Dragon Blade from the side. Malfurion tried to stop that from happening with the Ice Block, but it was not enough. Full Genji power here. That's the ability and why Genji is just so powerful right now.
I mean, that was basically the fire spreading from the Pyroblast, or not the Pyroblast, Keldas's W, which for some reason his name escapes me, but anyways, it was spreading really hard there, and that actually, paired with the Dragon Blade, was enough damage to kind of push through. So, kind of when you have this dive comp with the Tyrael, you can think about Kael'thas somewhat as a soft counter because of how that spread works on his W, but definitely worked out for them in that last fight. Dragon Blade used again here. The silence, though, onto Hamlin here. Sound barrier goes down. He will survive. Good disengage, but several heroics used on the side of Raven, which gives a nice lead to BlossoM for this next altar phase. It's a triple, the last one of the game. They were able to secure all 3. It would only take 1 pumpkin to get in.
Yep, 1 pumpkin would do it if they can all get all 3, but seems like Raven is winning lots of the team fights right now, but a lot of heroics just used for the fight. Dudu gets caught. Hamlin's looking for the kill. It seems like he will get the kill.
Gets it. It's Living Bomb, by the way, just to correct myself. So Hamlin gets knocked up for this, but will get away with a good dash here. Decent gravity lapse coming in. Hunt comes in, though. Chom, will he get away? The hook is on Mora here, actually, to protect him.
Very nice hook from Diong. Incredible plays here, but Genji is already taken. And NMX is looking for his life again. Great cleanse coming out from Wiz. His support play is on fire today.
Okay, we're going to see if the dive comes through. Chom gets caught once more. Does escape, does provide some extra healing here as Darvish dives in. Already used the isolation. No Chat with a very tricky Aldruins to escape. The cocoon about to be burst here. And it looks like BlossoM is going to have to at least temporarily concede this. Wiz very low on mana. The Hunt comes in, though, with the synergy of Gondar. They dive through. Wiz has just enough mana to continue to heal. He's going to have a Twilight Dream in a second as well. May not even need to use it. Oh, that was a bad tongue grab for Darvish, too. Completely whips it. The dive is real, and that is going to be the 4-man wipe. And this is going to be a bell tower. They're probably going to wait to channel the bottom one to make sure they get the extra shot. Wiz is doing exactly that currently. And that will put Raven down to 4. 1 bell tower away from death, 1 boss away from death.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're going to do. Seems like Illidan is already going up to go towards the boss. And that's going to finish them. The game, they will get the 4 shots after taking the boss. And Genji cannot stop that from happening at all.
Now Lucio's going to try to burst his way back as fast as he can. Hamlin's got the Dragon Blade. If they could buy a little bit of time, maybe miracles could happen, but I really don't think so. Gondar looking for the fake bush there. The wrong one. The silence comes in, the cocoon. That's the 4 shots. And they're going to kill Lucio as well on their way out. There are the shots on the core. That is game over. BlossoM takes 2 wins in a row, and they're now on match point.
I'm impressed. I have to say I am very impressed from the teamwork that we've seen from BlossoM. I think this is a totally new team right now with Gondar and Modern Life Mora coming into the team. The roster change and the role swaps are working perfectly. Even Wiz with those cleanses, perfect cleanses from all the CCs available that's from Raven's side, and you can see the teamwork, the Hunt, Anubarak diving in at the same time, picking on Lucio to get a kill from the beginning of the team game. Raven cannot do a thing against that.
I feel like both teams have leveled up significantly, though. I want to give props to Dion once again. The Stitches play that we saw, that one hook where he actually protected his teammate. It was a different kind of helping hand, if you will. It was really, really cool. And also the play we saw out of Hamlin, really good. NMX, decent. Kael'Thas, he got dove on. I think the Kael'Thas is somewhat of a soft counter to Tyrael and this dive comp because the Living Bomb forces you to split when you're all stacking up on top of each other trying to win the Sanctification. There's a lot more to talk about that last game and, of course, the rest of this series, but we are going to take a very short commercial break. When we come back, could be the last game of the night.